Tin Hut! This is General Hawk, commander of the G.I. Joe forces, with a special announcement for the people of Earth. Recent intelligence has uncovered evidence that Cobra is developing a fleet of heavily armored tanks that pack a serious punch. Unchecked, these high-speed sentries could give Cobra the edge in their plans for world domination. That's why we need your help. G.I. Joe has partnered with Haslab to create the very first classified series G.I. Joe Assault Copter Dragonfly XH-1 with anticipated deployment in summer of 2024. Operation Dragonfly, however, cannot commence production unless we secure 10,000 backer orders by midnight on July 17th. Starting today, each Haslab helicopter you back for $274.99 could get you a G.I. Joe Assault Copter Dragonfly XH-1 along with an action figure of the latest G.I. Joe classified recruit, William Wild Bill Hardy. This Assault Copter offering represents the pinnacle of G.I. Joe's anti-armor technology with push-button light-up LED interior display panels and exterior lighting. It's a massive 34 inches long from the tip of the front turret barrel to tail. The rotor blades feature manual blade spinning action and positioning. The base offering includes removable missile and cannon accessories, which allow you to customize your XH-1 armament loadout, as well as 6 blast effects and a display stand to pose your assault copter fleet in dozens of possible combinations. The functioning hoist with cable and rescue hook allows you to deploy additional Joe troops, each sold separately for infiltration and extraction or rescue ops. Haslab and I have provided a full dossier specifying the extraordinary features and details of the Operation Dragonfly offering on the campaign homepage. Cobra Commander is one tough cookie, and Cobra forces will follow him to the gates of oblivion, so we'll need to expand the ranks of the G.I. Joe team to combat that threat. If Operation Dragonfly reaches 13,000 backer orders before the end of the campaign on July 17th, you'll unlock a classified series Night Force Ripcord action figure. Expect 2 additional top-secret unlocked tiers to follow, with more new recruits to the Joe team. Operation Dragonfly can't succeed without your help. We've been whipping the scales off Cobra on the land and the sea. Now let's finish the job from the air with as many XH-1 helicopters as possible. Facing Cobra with less firepower than this could put us at a serious disadvantage. We're counting on you. Yo, Joe!
That is disgusting!
Oh my goodness. Welcome to a very special edition of our Yojo June fan streams on Hasbro Pulse. We are here to officially launch our new Haslab campaign.
Look at it. Look at it.
It's
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
So this is our beloved new classified series Dragonfly Helicopter XH-1.
It's a prehistoric dragonfly, this thing. It's enormous. Look at this thing.
We are so excited. So if you are inclined, so the campaign is open right now over on HasbroPulse.com. So you can be one of the first people in the world to back the Operation Dragonfly, as we are calling it, for our Haslab campaign.
Best hidden secret.
Right? And we've really appreciated all of the amazing feedback that we've been getting on kind of our marketing campaign for teasers for this. It's really important to us to kind of build up the story for why a Dragonfly? Why is this the next kind of vehicle that we are creating for classified series? So definitely shout out to our amazing team who's been working so hard on this. Jonathan and Mark have been absolutely slaying it on all of those teasers. So thank you so much. But Lenny and I are here today to actually kick off the campaign and talk to you about our Dragonfly, which is a 34-inch long helicopter, which
ginormous.
It's enormous.
It's glorious. When you see it next to the his tank, you're like, this world is coming together. And like speaking personally from a G.I. Joe standpoint, it's just like the world is starting. The pieces are coming together, and the figure line is like it's creating a life of its own. And seeing these vehicles is what brings it back. And then like your like nostalgia brain kicks in too. So it's got nostalgia, it's got world building, and then the helicopter itself. Just speaking,
it's just so cool. It's so cool.
Mark's incredible. Like this is just. I remember when we started to see the first models of it, and it just was coming to life. And we're going to take you through the feature set. Of course, we're showing you today. This is the first model based on our CAD. It will be updated detail-wise. We're going to update some of the tolerances, details like that. So nothing like that's baked in.
What's a CAD file for the people at
home?
CAD
file is a 3D file or of the sculpture, essentially, and it's the working file. So it has all the features baked in. We use that file to cost the product. We use that file to troubleshoot the product. And then we take it to the first model, which you see here, and then we kind of troubleshoot again. And then we'll probably make another model from there before we go to final. And then from there, we have a bunch of EP samples. That's that engineering pilot I tell you guys about every once in a while. We'll see a bunch of engineering pilots. We'll see pilots on top of pilots, because we got to make sure the Haslabs are right, and we will make sure they are perfect. And it's kind of the promise we're trying to keep.
Yeah.
Right?
And so this is the first time that any of us have actually seen this in person. And you should have seen the look on our faces when it came into the office, because I think all of our jaws kind of dropped. Like, we knew that it was big, but we didn't know that it was like this big. So just for reference, I'm currently standing on boxes so that I'm closer to Lenny's height, but I am exactly 60 inches tall, so this is over half of an Emily in height, which is wild. And it's wild.
Also crazy to think about too. We don't have it on here on the stage with us right now, but like his tank is 19 inches long.
I believe so.
I think that's how long the tail is.
Yeah.
So it's enormous, to say the least. It's awesome, and it's jam-packed with features, which I think I should probably take them through.
Tip to tail as a feature set kind of a thing, or however you get
let's do tip to tail.
All right, go for it.
I'm right here.
I just want to make sure that we don't have any notes on this, so we're doing this all from memory. So I just want to make sure you don't miss anything as we go through.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with the Gatling gun. On the front, you can see the Gatling gun. It's articulate, it swivels rather. So I don't want to push it too much, because again, I remember telling you guys this is a first model, so the tolerances aren't there, but we're working on that full range of motion. It'll also up and down movement, which is really cool. I'll spin it just a little bit. You can see it uses our 1.5 millimeter port system in the front, so most blast effects within the line will work on it, which is really cool. We also have the cannons on the side, or the machine guns on the side, which they push in and pull out.
Pull it a little bit this way. Sorry, we're adjusting our camera angles on the fly too.
So as you can see here, it pushes in and it pushes out. That's so you can get the blast effect in there just right, and it also gives it a reciprocation action. So like it's not a mechanical feature, but it kind of like lets you pose it out. So it's almost like an articulation point, so you can kind of have them however you like. What also is really cool, and I didn't know that Mark was doing this in the onset of the project, but he added these in, and this is very similar to the Sky Striker. And inside you can see all the armaments that go onto the machine gun. And all this will be fully decoed inside. It's going to look really cool. It already looks cool. And actually, there's across the product on top, you can open it up and see the engine detail, which I'm flipping the wrong way. As you can see inside, there's all the turbines and all that. Check that out, all the jet engine detail.
And there's
inside.
also, so in addition to having the gray model, our physical model here, if you go onto HasbroPulse.com and look at the PDP, or the product display page, we have digital product renders in full color so that you can see exactly what this will look like. They were also used in the launch video. Mm-hmm. So we want you to be able to get like the full scope of this. So use the renders to imagine what the colors will look like, and then use this to imagine just like how big this thing is.
Yeah, and we're going to show you the feature set here too. Mm-hmm. So as you can see, those go back down very easily. They tolerance back in. Again, it's a resin model, so the tolerances aren't great. As you can see here, it has the machine gun on the side that feeds into the side of the jet. I don't know, let me turn that a little bit. You can see that's the ribbon feed for the machine gun. And then, of course, blast effects will go on. We'll arm it up towards the end, but I want to show you guys all those parts and pieces. Then we have the rockets that post onto the side, and they rail onto the side. If I can get this to pull off nicely. As you can see there we have the dog bone pin, which is really cool. And then we spin it around the other side. Something that's really fun about it, the tow winch. The tow winch is blocked a little bit, so let me move this rocket, take this off of here real quick. As you can see, so the tow winch, the way that works is it's got a button baked into it. And then when I press the button, I could pull the tow winch down like that. And then you can hook it to all your figures, which is really cool. It's kind of baked into there. You can hook it. Most of our figures have belts, so it will hook onto those belts nicely. So even if you don't have a harness, you can still get it onto an action figure. So then what you can do then, it's up like that. You take it.
Oh, that's a nice ratchet.
Got a nice ratchet.
Yep.
So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Maybe I'll try it like this.
Yep.
And you can kind of bring the tow winch up as it pull off. Also, this is removable. Serendipitously came off, but as you can see, it's removable. And what's nice about that is, we'll just get into the action feature.
So it's one of the things that we were really trying hard is for customization. So that has been so important to us for the Sky Striker, for the Hiss Tank, and for the Dragonfly, is to make sure that it is customizable. So if you want to display multiples of them, you will be able to have them look different. You will be able to have them look like your Dragonfly.
Which is like the coolest part about it. And I feel like that's what's so G.I. Joe about it. Like you can customize and armor your vehicle how you see it.
Yep.
Speaking of which, you can take the rocket cradles and you can put that into the bottom of the wing. And these are really cool too because it's doing what the Hiss Tank, what the Sky Striker did, where it's kind of like a rail dog bone. So you put it in, you slide it forward. We put some tacky wax on it just so we didn't lose any parts and pieces. But you'll put it on and you'll slide it forward, and then it sits just like that. And then the rockets are all sitting in the harness. And let's do that to the other side too.
And then just as we're talking through this, and you've seen the launch video, but just to clarify, everything that we are talking about today that is physically featured on this table right now, this is all in the base offering.
Yes.
So this is, we're not even talking unlocks at this point. This is all base offering. So you get the helicopter, you get the stand, you get the blast effect, you get the armaments, you get Wild Bill. And so I think that it's from an instant kind of collection. That was one of the things that I loved about the Sky Striker, was it really did feel like an instant collection for the base offering. And so that's something that we're really kind of anniversarying here, is bringing that back and making it say like, okay, so just the base offering is this amazing kind of storytelling experience, and then the unlocks are just kind of fun bonuses that add to the storytelling.
Yeah. It's, again, play out that military fantasy.
Yes.
And I think we're nailing it here. So actually I put the rockets back on, but let's put on Chips and Salsa. Mark affectionately named. So Chips and Salsa, in the final product, I believe we're gonna have a dog bone that goes on the side, but Chips and Salsa will go on the bottom. You'll be able to fit your blast effects into there. And I could show you really quick. And you can kind of put the blast effects in there, which is really fun. And that's all blast effect ports inside of there. If you look at that.
That's really an insane number of blast effect ports.
Yeah, so you can kind of customize and show how
it's amazing.
It's firing out, which is super fun. I'll go ahead and throw that on the other side.
Yep. And then just so that you know, for the blast effects that are currently molded in that clear clear plastic, they will be also fully colored. So this is not you will not see. They will not arrive to you just as clear plastic.
No, yeah. We do that because we have to. It gives the effect that we're trying to get across, but that we're going to try to make it as crystal clear as possible with deco on it as well.
Yeah.
So we should probably talk. Oh, you know what's really cool about this too? Like the original Dragonfly, you can have the offset tail. Kind of, if you guys remember, the original one had this kind of like offset design. And I remember talking to Mark. He's like, the offset design's cool. The new modern ones have a little bit more normal, and then you can even adjust them. So which I thought was a really cool addition that he added there. So it's like you don't have to stay so true to the original, but you want to get that kind of like silhouette, or like you want a vibe of what the character was or the vehicle was. But so I thought this was a really nice addition to kind of let the consumer adjust it, and you can play into the fantasy of like maybe that helps it steer a particular way. But also the tail thruster also spins, and it has this kind of cool exhaust detail on top. This comes off, and then you can see all the detail on the inside. I'm sure by the end of the day we're gonna have all these details cleaned up. It looks a little rough right now, but Again, it's a resin model, but that's kind of the jet that's inside there, which I thought was pretty sweet. That's the attention to detail that I love that Mark brings to these products.
And we do have, so we're talking about many Marks. We actually have 2 Marks on our team. We have our wonderful product designer Mark and our amazing brand writer Mark.
We have a lot of Marks.
Yes.
A lot of M's on the team.
Yes. And they are wonderful. Everybody on the team has been so wonderful. So also just shout out to the development team for all of their amazingly hard work bringing this item to life. We've been working on this for quite a while.
Yes.
And we are pleased as punch to get to show it to you today.
Pleased as punch.
Pleased
I really
as
like
punch.
that. Speaking of pleased as punch, there's something really satisfying about this rudder. I mean, it's a
that is
resin model
satisfying.
and it's spinning really good, so it kind of it's going to spin well in the plastic as well, which is super fun. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Oh, you know what we should
Cockpit?
do? We should do Cockpit, and then we'll do blast effects.
All right, sounds
And then
good.
we'll do Wild Bill.
Okay, perfect. We got a game plan.
All right, so the Cockpit is got a lot going on, actually. So the first thing I'll show you is take it from, actually, let's turn this bad boy. Take it from there, and you can pick it up like that if you like.
Or
And this allows you to put figures. The driver goes in the back, the gunner goes in the front. You can put it back down, and then you can actually pose it out for quick release. Actually, I might have to, because it's a model, I'll probably have to pick that up. So then that'll come up and hold up. I'm going to have to hold it up just because the model's losing its validity. But again, opens up for quick jump out. You can do some really cool posing of them climbing in there. We have it for the pilot, and we also have it for the gunner. The gunner does it as well, which is really cool too. And Mark was inspired by, he was telling me he was inspired by modern Cobra helicopters, which have that feature in it, where they kind of VTOL up, or not VTOL, the DeLorean doors, which is going doors, which is super fun. So on that note, we should stay in the cockpit.
We should stay in the
cockpit. There's a lot of cool
cockpit.
stuff going in the cockpit. So also in the cockpit, you guys will notice, and keep me honest, guys, I'm going to spin this around and get the seats first. Take a look at the seats. They have a lot of cool mil-spec kind of detailing on them. And they have these really awesome seat belts that, just like the Trouble Bubble, are going to be a post, and they'll post into themselves. I almost wonder, Emily, hold the base real quick. And then let's turn this bad boy around.
hold the cockpit up so that it doesn't fall on this one.
Oh, this is a balancing act.
Yep, you're doing great.
And then, as you can see, so we had it in its, pretty much its takeoff mode. This is its kind of veering down mode. But what's nice about that is I can show you more details, but it shows that the stand, which we've been remiss to talk about, this giant stand that it
enormous.
comes with, it gives you 2 kind of poses you can do with it, which are really cool.
But also it's very sturdy, which is nice.
Very sturdy.
Yep.
Look how thick this is. I would say this is probably 8 millimeters thick.
Yeah.
It's super thick, super durable. Again, this is a model, so it'll be different in production. It'll be more sturdy when we're finished. But as you can see, jumping back to the seats, some really cool detail Mark put onto here. I think at the end of the day, we'll probably add some mold etching. Mold etching goes into the mold after the mold is created. So like you can pick like a leather texture you could put on there, or you could put a tech texture, like kind of like the textures you see on the globes in the back, but like they go and they acid etch it into the steel, which is super cool. Yeah.
Oh, I
so
didn't
you
know
can go
that.
back in, and so if you don't sculpt it in, 'cause sometimes it's not great to sculpt it in because you lose the detail, you can put it into the mold.
That's very cool.
So yeah, we'll probably see those details popping up here. It's still in development, so who knows what direction we'll go in just yet. But
And as a reminder, our policy when it comes to showing off early product development models is always this or something better.
Yes.
So it is, please kind of keep in mind that this is early on in the development process. This is a product that is continuing in development, and we'll make sure to give you all the updates that we can, but it is this or something better.
So we should illuminate
Oh, we should
the
illuminate.
inside.
Yes.
Or enlighten. I was trying to find a funny pun, but I'm terrible.
No, you're doing great.
I'm terrible. So if you take a look inside, look at the dashes. They are
Gorgeous.
awesome. There is a pilot dash and there is a gunner dash. Both have different gels, we call them, on them, and they're both backlit. I don't know if you can get them all in the shot, but it's a lot of like
Most
cool
of them,
air gauges on here, ammunition gauge, ammo, telemetry. Mark went all in on these details on here, and it's super exciting to see. And it's kind of fun part about G.I. Joe, where you can just completely dork out about stuff.
All right, so I think we can get a little bit of a different camera angle on it. Would you mind picking it up and showing it to the camera?
Yeah, teamwork makes dream work.
Yeah,
Let's
it does.
do this.
All right, I got the stand.
All right.
Beautiful.
And then let me know how you want this thing. Hold on a second.
Oh, yeah.
You guys can take a look at look at that. It fully illuminates. Now again, this is the first model, so we're going to work out those hot spots. They do look cool to me, but I think we can work those hot spots out so the lighting is a little more uniformed as it goes around. Also, we have the stage lights. If this was in pure darkness, they would illuminate. It would look pretty cool.
It's going to look really great when you get it home, is really what Lenny's trying to say.
Pretty cinematic. And actually, let's put it back on as if it's taking off. And I think, I mean, it's one of, actually talking to John, my director, about this, it's one of the tenets of Classified is to make the line feel cinematic as if it's done by a production team for a movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of this is achieving that, and it's so exciting to see. Let's take that down a bit, because we have other lights to show you.
Sure do.
So we have the cockpit lights, but then we also have, hopefully I get the sequence right. I'll just talk the sequence as we do it. So again, the button is on top.
Which is different than his tank, where it is under the chin.
The chin button. So as you can see, we have headlamps on it, which are really cool looking. But then we also have a spotlight that I wonder if we should put it on Bill. You can probably see it. I don't know if you guys can see that with these house lights on there.
You can definitely see it on your hand.
Yeah. So it looks really cool. Again, it's that like helicopter spotlight that like it's just fulfilling the full fantasy. And then again, you just click through it twice again and it turns them all off. And it's really simple. I think it's like 3 or 4 clicks to 3 different light sequences. And by the end of the product, when we finish the gameplay document, because you have to do gameplay documents for lighting because it's still gameplay. You
should see the his tank instruction sheet. It's pretty beautiful.
Yeah. Gameplay's fun. It's basically it's a program map. So we'll work out the program map to see what other cool things we can do with it. No promises though. And then let's put some blast effects on this thing, and then I'll talk about Bill. Okay, perfect. All right, so the blast effects are enormous. Or we were calling them rocket effects.
Oh, that's nice.
Right? So then what's cool about this is the rocket effect will have the dog bone pin connection here so that you can connect it on the blast itself. So what's fun about that is if I put this on here, boom, and then I can have a rocket, thank you. And you put the rockets on like thusly. And then we can put, let's see, maybe we'll put the rocket on keep the rocket on that side. Am I in there? Yep. And the rock. So not only does that look rad, it has like a
it's nice that you have options. Yeah.
It looks like a sculpture. Is what I love about it, right? Like a moment in time, taking out the night raven that's flying above it. You know what I mean? It's really cool. Beautiful. Let's put them all on so this thing looks even cooler. All right, let's put them on the rockets in the back. Just kind of slide that on there. Boop.
I think I might be able to do one.
Yep. And you know what? I'm going to put the Gatling gun back on because it's sweet. Let's see. Do I have room? No, I'd have to take the rocket off. Let's leave it as is. I think it looks cool. And then let's put these on the front gun. So, Emily, what you got to do is you got to pull the front gun out. So use your nail and pull the front gun out so that the blast effect will clear.
All right. Let's see. I haven't gotten to do this before. They don't usually let the marketers do this.
We never let them touch anything.
Ever. Very cool.
So take a look at that with all the blast effects on there.
Beautiful.
It's awesome. They're massive. They're going to have really cool colorways on them. I'm so excited for this thing. You should see it next to the His tank. Yeah.
It's just like... And we'll make sure that we have comparison pictures so that you can see like actually how big it is. So we'll take our His model and show it next to this because it is, both of them are gorgeous and enormous and larger than life. But this is pretty spectacular.
So speaking of enormous, larger than life, awesomeness, Wild Bill.
Oh, Wild Bill.
Wild Bill came out pretty great. This is our first model for him. He has removable hat and swappable hair, a lot like we did on Shipwreck. The reason for that was because we were trying to do the 5-gallon, 10-gallon hat, but it was massive on that beautiful feathered hair. So what we did was we merged one set of hair with the hat so it fit nice and snug on top of his head. And if you do want it without the hat on, you just swap it out, put the toupee on, and he looks sweet.
Easy as pie.
Easy as pie. I can't do that here. This is all glued together. Figure models are a little different than vehicle models because they articulate.
Yeah.
So we have
so
to
you
kind
can
of
enjoy
glue them
him with his
together.
hat on for now, and in the future
Yeah.
you'll be able to
in
see
his
him.
stiff pose.
Yes.
So he'll come with his trusty knife, which will then holster into his vest. The vest is not intended to be removable. It is a secondary, but if you feel so inclined, you can get it off the figure pretty easily, which is great. Great thing about classified. His glasses are also removable, his sweet sunglasses. And he also has 2 6-shooters on the side, which are both removable. You can't see it. You might be able to see it in the camera, but he has his iconic Longhorn belt buckle. I flattened it so that it would feel a little more embroidered or more etched in there. Also, it helps with him in sitting in the seat. If it was raised, it would be. I was thinking about raising it, kind of like what we did on Copperhead with that like crazy Cthulhu thing, but I think it would have hindered his seating, so we flattened it like the original figure has. But he also has this cool 6-shooter belt, which you could spin around, because the original toy had the 6 shooters facing the other way because he would draw, he would cross draw. But if you look at the back of the figure, I'm not sure if we'll be able to get the details, but there's a Longhorn in the back of the belt as well. And you can see all the embroidery maybe on the side. He's got embroidery on his cavalry gloves, which are really cool. And then the vest itself, we had a lot of stitching, a lot of leather patterns. I wanted him to feel very Wild West.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Very, very cowboy. And I think it comes across. His boots are awesome. The leather texture, Matt, our sculptor, is phenomenal. Did the portrait on this guy. His texturing's awesome. That was another thing, too, with making his face. Sometimes when you put a big old walrus mustache on somebody or a big old beard, they look a little older. In my case, it's white, so I look older than what I am. But in the case of him, we were running into that issue. So we worked his face to make him feel like he's like in his early mid-40s, but he has this big old bushy Wild Bill mustache on, and he's sweet. So yeah, super excited about the figure. I'm super excited about all the other figures that we'll show you guys in time. And overall, this is a phenomenal project. I hope it gets funded. Thank you guys for all the support you already give the brand, and you know, it's just so cool to see it all come to life and to see all this like come together in the ridiculousness that this is.
Every time they let us do one of these, we're all just kind of like, these are dream projects for us to get to work on. Like it's so different than what it's all toys, but getting to work on something that is this big and this complex that we get to just kind of throw a bunch of things into to make it a dream item for fans is pretty amazing.
100%.
So we are all very lucky. And so, as Lenny said, thank you for your continued support from the G.I. Joe community. And we think that this is kind of a home run. And we are really, really excited to see all of your reactions to this. So let us know in the comments what you think, how excited you are. If you're going to get your Wild Bill figure and give him a big yeehaw, which is not usually something we get to say when we're talking about classified figures, which is really fun. But this has been so much fun to work on.
I think I'm going to be going all in like I did the His tank.
Yep. Oh yeah, all in.
And I think the immediate family is be like, where are you putting all of these? Yep. But we'll worry about that later.
They'll be right next to my 5 Dragonflies will be right next to what will be my stack of 5 His tanks, which will be right next to my stack of 5 Sky Strikers.
You make a wall?
Yeah, we're just making a wall. My cats like to sit on top of them. But I feel like, Lenny and I are all in on this project, and we hope that you enjoy it and that you'll be as excited as we are. And it's going to be beautiful sitting next to your Sky Striker Haslab and your His tank Haslab.
Land, sea, and air.
Yep.
Wherever there's trouble,
G.I. Joe's there. All right, so before we go, we have to run through the campaign details.
Marketing stuff.
So campaign is now open, like we said earlier. So head on over to HasbroPulse.com to back your Dragonfly XH1. Campaign is open until 11:59 p.m. on July 17th. That's right. So campaign window is from now until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on July 17th. So go and back your Dragonfly XH1. We need 10 10,000 Dragonfly XH1s that are purchased or backed by that time in order for this product to move into production. Once we hit that 10,000 unit threshold, then we'll start talking about unlocks. So as you saw in the launch video, we gave you a little sneaky peek. So the 13,000 unit unlock goal is actually a Night Force Ripcord figure.
And I would very much so like to make him.
I would very much like one in my collection.
With our 3 3/4 inch for the Sky Striker.
You know we love a good Haslab callback in our future Haslabs. So this is a callback to our Sky Striker campaign. Really, really excited about it. This time around, all of the figures that come with the Dragonfly XH1, which we may have revealed already. Maybe there's some more that are coming down the line. You'll have to stick with us to find out. But they will all be in full classified packaging with their own unique numbers in the classified series sequence. So that's all the numbers that are on the sides of the boxes.
Sweet.
Fabulous.
That's awesome.
And so you get everything that you see here. That's right, this helicopter, this beautiful stand, these blast effects, all these armaments, and our friend Wild Bill for the price of $274.99. So that is our base tier offering, and then you'll get all of the unlocks as we unlock them as well. So we are so excited. So make sure that you are sticking with us over the course of the campaign on social media. Stick with us on Hasbro Pulse accounts to really make sure that you get to see all of the latest updates, because we're going to be really excited to talk about this some more. Okay, 100%. Fabulous. I think that was everything.
Yeah.
Okay, fabulous. I feel like I just said fabulous and not, but we're really excited about this. So on that note, call it a day and give it a yo-jo.
Okay. 100%. All right. I think we should.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Yo-jo! Tin Hut! This is General Hawk, commander of the G.I. Joe forces, with a special announcement for the people of Earth. Recent intelligence has uncovered evidence that Cobra is developing a fleet of heavily armored tanks that pack a serious punch. Unchecked, these high-speed sentries could give Cobra the edge in their plans for world domination. That's why we need your help. G.I. Joe has partnered with Haslab to create the very first classified series G.I. Joe Assault Copter Dragonfly XH1 with anticipated deployment in summer of 2024. Operation Dragonfly, however, cannot commence production unless we secure 10,000 backer orders by midnight on July 17th. Starting today, each Haslab helicopter you back for $274.99 could get you a G.I. Joe Assault Copter Dragonfly XH1 along with an action figure of the latest G.I. Joe classified recruit, William Wild Bill Hardy. This assault copter offering represents the pinnacle of G.I. Joe's anti-armor technology with push-button light-up LED interior display panels and exterior lighting. It's a massive 34 inches long from the tip of the front turret barrel to tail. The rotor blades feature manual blade spinning action and positioning. The base offering includes removable missile and cannon accessories, which allow you to customize your XH1 armament loadout, as well as 6 blast effects and a display stand to pose your assault copter fleet in dozens of possible combinations. The functioning hoist with cable and rescue hook allows you to deploy additional Joe troops, each sold separately for infiltration and extraction or rescue ops. Haslab and I have provided a full dossier specifying the extraordinary features and details of the Operation Dragonfly offering on the campaign homepage. Cobra Commander is one tough cookie, and Cobra forces will follow him to the gates of oblivion, so we'll need to expand the ranks of the G.I. Joe team to combat that threat. If Operation Dragonfly reaches 13,000 backer orders before the end of the campaign on July 17th, you'll unlock a classified series Night Force Ripcord action figure. Expect 2 additional top-secret unlocked tiers to follow with more new recruits to the Joe team. Operation Dragonfly can't succeed without your help. We've been whipping the scales off Cobra on the land and the sea. Now let's finish the job from the air with as many XH1 helicopters as possible. Facing Cobra with less firepower than this could put us at a serious disadvantage. We're counting on you. Yo, Joe!
disgusting!